Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Speak up, they can't hear you!
Is that the intro?
Ready?
Yeah.
What?
What? Scared the shit out of me. Look at my face. Oh, you got me all embarrassed. You should tell them that I have anxiety, so it's hard for me sometimes. I'm all sweaty. Feel my back.
Just from that. All right, you ready?
No. I'm all hot now. I'm all hot and sweaty.
That embarrassing?
Yeah.
Hello, Tarantula lovers. I'm Alex, and you're watching Tarantula Haven. Welcome to part 2 of Elise's Paludarium build. Last time she was a little bit hard to hear because her voice gets really soft when she's anxious, and she does suffer a little bit of anxiety. So she promises to elevate her voice, and so we can hear her a little bit better this time. So on your last video, you received a whole bunch of compliments on how well your Paludarium turned out. Were you happy with the way it turned out?
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. When I first started building it, I thought it kind of looked like crap. But when I got to the end product, it looked really nice, and I was really happy with it.
So I know everybody's anxious to see the final product, so we're going to just jump right into it, and we're going to go into her planting the vivarium, and then we'll be back to talk about it some more. I personally think that the final product turned out really well. How do you feel about the final product?
I like some of the plants. I really like the orchid placement, even the jewel orchids. But as far as the monstera in there and the fluffy fern that I have, the cotton candy fern, I'm just not exactly the happiest with it. And the ficus cordifolia, it's not my favorite. I wish it would be fuller, but that's just time and process.
And I know that when you put in the plants, you ended up taking a whole bunch of them back out and rearranging stuff.
I hated the calathea that I put in, both the calatheas that I tried to put in. I hated the what was it? The aluminum plant. I just thought it stood out way too much. And maybe in a different terrarium or vivarium it would look a lot better, but in there it just didn't suit what I wanted.
I kind of liked it, but yeah, you took that out, so I was a little bit sad that one got taken out.
It was like the first one to go.
So now that you have the whole thing built, is there anything that you wish you would have done differently or something that did not turn out right?
I really wish I would have put a drainage tube or something that I could drain the drainage layer, because it filled up with water really fast and I pulled out about a gallon of water out of it. And that's not good for any of the plants down planted in the bottom. It'll kill them. They'll drown.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way. That was something that we just didn't really consider. You have to mist the plants pretty much every day, and that's a lot of water that builds up. And there's the land area that does not really have any, it has a drainage layer, but it doesn't really have anywhere else for the water to go. So it was pooling up in there and it got saturated. So she had to figure out a way to drain that out. She's got a little bit of a drain in there now, but that's something that if we had planned for it, maybe we could have done something differently. So we might end up fixing that in the future. So let's talk about the frogs. What species was it that you originally wanted?
I originally wanted to get Rantomia amazonica arena blanca because when I first started looking up dart frogs, I saw Rantomia reticulated, and those are the red back dart frogs, but they're so small you can't really, they're not beginner friendly. They're for more advanced. And the arena blanca look very similar to them. So that was my original plan, was to get those, but they're all sold out. We even went to Sam's Flying Frogs and he said that his pair wasn't even breeding.
Yeah, so we had a hard time finding that particular species, but we did find another species that is very closely related to it. In fact, they're the same species, just a different geographical variant, and those were the
Blackwaters. And at Sam's Flying Frog Ranch, he actually had a bunch, and you didn't see any of the Arena Blancas, but you saw all 4 of the Blackwaters, and that really inspired me to try to get those instead.
Yeah, so it was really good that we got to experience them firsthand and actually see them, because in the tank that he had, the Arena Blanca, they were all hidden. We could not see a single one. We got a fly buzzing around. But we couldn't see a single one. But in the tank that had the Blackwaters, they were all out and visible and moving around. So it kind of helped her make a decision to go ahead and get that particular species. And we lucked out because she was researching online and she found a place in California that was selling them for a very good deal. So are you happy with the frogs that you got?
Oh, I absolutely adore them. They always come out and visit me when I feed them. They all eat, and they're just a joy. I really don't regret getting them at all.
All right. So, yeah, she's got her frogs. She got 3 of them. They're in there, and I know you want to see them, so here they are. So there you are, Ranitimia amazonica, Blackwater. And Elise had to go. She's got finals to study for, and I didn't want to take up any more of her time. But I believe that she is just absolutely delighted with those frogs. I think they're everything that she wanted and more. I'm glad that we got to see the two different species in a vivarium setting, just to see how their interactions were and what they were like. Because if they were shy like the other ones were and she didn't get to see them very much, I think she would have been a little bit disappointed. But these guys are bold. They come out first light. My wife and I enjoy watching them. We go in there and we look at them first thing in the morning before we leave for work. And they're just so fun to watch. Their little twitchy movements and everything that they do is just really cool. And the colors are just astonishing to me, that something in nature could be so brightly and vividly colored like that. I think that's just absolutely cool. A little bit of trivia there. A little bit of history on me. When I first started getting into exotics, I wanted snakes. That was one of the things that I wanted. But after snakes, I started looking into tarantulas and I started buying books and things like that. But the other thing that I was really into was dart frogs. And I was really, really interested in them. But at the time, some of the species that I was looking at were very expensive. And there wasn't tons of information on them, so I felt like I just didn't have the knowledge and the ability to keep them. So it was just something that I never pulled the trigger on and never did. And I'm kind of glad that she did, because I'm getting to experience it vicariously through her, and I'm really, really delighted with them. They're just such a joy to watch. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll be brave enough to get some of my own, but for now I'm content to go in there in her room and just watch them and enjoy them and let her take care of them. But I just get all the benefits of getting to observe them and take pictures and all that kind of stuff. So it's a win-win for both of us. And that does it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like my shirt, I picked this up at tarantulacribs.com. I believe my buddy Richard has a discount code TCollective10, and you can get your own Tarantula Cribs shirt. And they have a paint splatter one that I wish I had seen. I saw this one first and I picked this one up, but I wish I'd seen the other one, because I'd have picked that one up too. I guess I got to go back and get me another one of those. But they have a lot of Tarantula Cribs that are in stock right now, and now they have the new Treehouse Tarantula Crib for arboreal species. So don't forget to check them out, tarantulacribs.com. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you want to support this channel, I have a Teespring store where I sell Tarantula Haven merchandise. Special thank you to all my Patreon supporters. And if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter yourself, I have a link down below in the description, as well as all the others. Until next time, keep loving them tarantulas and dart frogs.